We would like to start a regular press conference by Foreign Minister Hayashi. Minister, the floor is yours. Just one thing I would like to share with you. As the third round of Local to Global project to communicate local charms to the world, on February 5th, I'll be visiting Okayama Prefecture with diplomatic corps in Japan. Takei Shunsuke, State Minister for Foreign Affairs, will accompany me. April this year, G7 Kurashiki Labor and Employment Ministerial meeting will be held in that Kurashiki city, together with the diplomatic corps in Japan. I'll be exchanging opinions with the local governments, people, and people from the local business circle. And we plan to visit attractive tourist spots and textile-related industry facility unique to the place. In Okayama City, I will be having an informal meeting with people who are very active based in Okayama, including the youth. We will be discussing topics such as Japan's diplomatic policies and communicating Okayama's attractions.
If you have questions, please approach to the microphone. If you are designated, please mention your affiliation and name. Tanaka-san from GG Press, please. This is Tanaka of GG Press. Last night, for the first time, you have met the Minister of Foreign Affairs of PRC. You had a talk over phone with him last night. And how are you going to establish the stable and constructive relationship with China? And also at the summit, regarding the Minister yourself, your visit to China, could you please give us your take?
Last evening, with Foreign Minister Shin Gan, for about 50 minutes, I had a telephone talk. The constructive and the stable relation, that's the important recognition, common recognition between the top leaders between the two countries. I said that we would like to cooperate to realize that major direction, building that direction. He also consented. While there are various issues between China and Japan, that's precisely why we need more dialogue. With Minister Shin, we agreed to advance steadily dialogues in various areas. At the top level, foreign minister level, at various levels, communicating closely. What needs to be asserted should be asserted. We will demand responsible actions, including various issues, having dialogues, including at the top level, and on common issues between the two countries. We would like to make efforts from both sides to build a constructive and stable relation. Regarding my visit to China, once again, from Minister Shin, he extended an invitation, and will continue to work out the detailed timing, specific timing. Yomiuri Shimbun, Abe-san, please. Yomiuri, Abe. A follow-up question. Last evening, when you had the telephone talk, who actually initiated the talk? About the border measures, did you exchange opinions concerning the border measures? Because China side, regarding the visas for Japanese, they started issuance, but Japan, last November, these more stringent measures are still being taken. Again, could you revisit that, please?
Yes. So which called for this talk over the phone last night? Well, upon the assignment of Mr. Shin Gan, there was the consensus between the two countries regarding the necessity for having a meeting between the two ministers of foreign affairs, and necessary adjustments were made. Regarding the infection control measures at the entry points of entry, and there was a reference to the relaxation of the measures taken by Japan's side, and I have explained our position for Japan regarding these temporary measures taken at the ports of entry. Of course, we will continue on the current measures, and we will monitor the current status of the infection. In China, we would like to continue to be flexible. And NHK, Iwasa-san, please, the next question. Iwasa of the NHK speaking. Regarding the UNSC, Now, the Japan assumed the presidency of the UNSC in January. January is ended, and what is the result as well as the achievement? And have there been any challenges that you have faced? And also, 1 year is going to be there will be a 1 year, and after the invasion by Russia into Ukraine. Please explain what you are going to do.
Since we became the member of the Security Council of the United Nations, it's been 1 month. But the Security Council is an important forum to build international opinions concerning various issues faced by the international community. January 12th, I served as the chair, and we held an open debate at the ministerial level concerning the rule of law. In the past 1 year, the highest number of countries, 77 countries, participated. Concerning the rule of law, I think we were able to enhance the international awareness. On January 26th, the so-called Global South, regarding the issues faced by them, we held an open debate concerning the building of peace. Again, 74 countries participated in this. On the other hand, I also felt personally the confrontation at the United Nations Security Council, escalating tension in Israel, Palestine, Afghanistan, Ukraine, North Korea. On those issues, stringent and also but the candid discussion should be held. As the chair, I did make the efforts. While the situation was rather difficult on Syria, Colombia, Cyprus, all those 3 resolutions were adopted unanimously. Especially, I think it was significant that there was the unanimous adoption of the resolution of continuing the cross-border humanitarian support for Syria, who is suffering from a conflict. Japan, as an Afghanistan spendholder, and we are also serving as the vice chair of the North Korean Sanction Committee. In addition to the Security Council, the reform, the enhancing the transparency of the current Security Council is important. We'll continue to work on this. The situation surrounding the UNSC is still difficult, while, as was mentioned before, the Russia's aggression against Ukraine, it has been 1 year. With the other Security Council members, by cooperating with them, next March, it's expected we will serve as the chair in the UNSC so that UNSC can fulfill its original responsibility. We will like to continue to make a contribution actively. Next question, Kyodo, Ueda-san. Kyodo, Ueda. About Japan-South Korea relations, about former civilian workers from the Korean Peninsula issue, if the government comes up with a solution, there is a direction that Japan may show some apology, and then there might be some relaxation of the control measures for the export. What's the current status? In March, President Yoon might visit Japan, and together with Prime Minister Kishida, there is, according to some report, such has been mentioned. But what's about the coordination status?
I am aware of such coverage in the media, but I would like to refrain from making comments on each individual reports. Upon that, last November, there was the summit meeting between Japan and South Korea, and the premiers agreed to call for the early resolution of the issues between the 2 countries, and there have been accelerated discussion between the diplomatic channels. And Minister of Foreign Affairs of South Korea, Park Jin, I had a telephone conference as well. And last month, there were the Director General level meeting was held twice, and including the issues, including the drafted worker issues, and regarding the wide variety of the challenges, we'd like to continue to have frank opinion to be exchanged in order to go back to the track for the sound development of the relationship. And also, we'd like to continue the communication. Since the 1965 normalization of ties between the 2 countries, we would like to continue on the foundation of the friendship relations in order to go back to the sound relationship between the 2 countries. And we'd like to continue close communication with the government of South Korea. Regarding the spectatorship of the WBC, we do not have any such plan. From Asahi Shimbun, please. The last question. Uechi of Asahi Shimbun regarding the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and it is going to be almost 1 year, and there will be any planned summit meeting between, and also meeting between the foreign ministers, and are you going to issue any message?
Regarding the holding of such meeting that you mentioned, nothing has been decided. That being said, Russia's aggression against Ukraine, that, well, it shatters the very foundation of the international order that's been built by the long-term serious efforts by the international community and many sacrifices to protect the peace and the order. The international community, including G7, must address this with resolute determination. Concerning the Russia's aggression against Ukraine, so far G7 has been united in our response. We, as the presidency, holding the presidency of G7, even more than before, ensuring the international community's collaboration of, including G7, they will be strongly promoting the support for Ukraine and sanctions against Russia. This concludes the press conference. Thank you.